Penguin Random House Audio presents The Power of the Actor, revised and updated. The Chubbuck Technique, the 12-step acting method for creating dynamic characters. This is the author, Ivana Chubbuck. Note to listeners. This audiobook includes a downloadable PDF with anything that requires visuals like scripts, emotional diary examples, and the practical application section. For Claire, my daughter, you gave my journey purpose and continue to do so. I love you. Introduction. Acting is a complex and elusive art to define. Yet almost everyone can tell good acting from bad acting, or good acting from brilliant acting. Why can one actor be riveting in a play and another actor be dull and boring in the very same play, doing the same character, the same lines? If it were just the script, the beauty of the language, the artful turn of a phrase, we would need only readings. But the words are not just read with sterility from the page. They are performed and brought to life by actors. Every actor knows that discovering and understanding your personal pain is an inherent part of the acting process. This has been true since Stanislavski. The difference between the Chubbuck technique and those developed in the past is that I teach actors how to use their emotions not as an end result, but as a way to empower a goal. My technique teaches actors how to win. If you look closely at virtually all drama and comedy, in fact, all literature, you will find that the will to win is the one constant element. In every story, a character wants or needs something regarding love, power, value, absolution, revenge, or something that boils down to a simple human primal need. The story documents the way in which the character attempts to win that specific need. How that character precisely tries to win is defined in many ways and takes many forms, shapes, and behaviors. But in every case, a character's dramatic struggle is about fighting to overcome the conflicts and obstacles getting in the way of accomplishing that win. Archaeologists have found objects and cave drawings that indicate early man played games of contest and sport. Acting began a couple of thousand years ago in ancient Greece. Let's do the math. The need for man to win is millions of years old. The theater is a couple of thousand years old. I teach actors how the concept of winning can be layered into their emotional constructs. Interesting and dynamic people go after what they want in interesting and dynamic ways, creating greater emotion and intensity in realizing these goals. They do this subconsciously, whereas actors must be aware and work to discover them. The win factor is essential in recreating fundamental human needs for our script analysis and makes our work more compelling. The Chubbuck technique not only stimulates the search for rich inner emotional information, but also helps to proactively and effectively activate our emotions to accomplishment. The Chubbuck technique grew out of my search to understand and overcome my own personal traumas and how they impacted both my acting and my personal life. I grew up with a distant, dysfunctional, workaholic father, a good man, but emotionally unavailable, and a physically violent and emotionally abusive mother. My mother was never officially diagnosed, but my brother Joe Gottfried, who is a psychiatrist, has said the following disorders would make sense of her behaviors: social anxiety disorder, mixed personality disorder heavy with narcissistic and histrionic traits, and complex PTSD. The assumption was that the complex PTSD came from severe childhood traumas. Our mother was sexually abused by a family member when she was a young teen, then beaten and blamed by her parents when she informed them. She also was a severe hoarder, so my 6 siblings and I shared our home with vermin, that lived happily among the piles of moldy, mulchy junk that had long ago stopped serving a purpose. As a result of her abuse and the absence of my father to protect me, I developed all kinds of ways to self-loathe and self-destruct. As an adult and as an actress, I wallowed in my childhood and adolescent horrors. As any actor would strive to be, I was truly in touch with my emotional pain. But I began to wonder, to what end am I feeling all of this? How do the feelings and emotions from my past shape my work as an actor? As a working actress, I would see so many actors who were honestly dredging up deep, painful emotions, but whose work seemed self-indulgent. I realized that having deep and profound feelings didn't necessarily make me a deep and profound actor. I saw that coddling one's pain in life and on stage created almost the opposite effect. It came across as self-involved, self-pitying, and weak, the key characteristics of a victim. Not the most compelling choice for an actor to make. I began investigating how to put the legacy of emotions I had inherited to better, more effective use in my work. When I examined the lives of successful people, I noticed that they seemed to use their physical and emotional traumas as a stimulus, not to self-indulgently suffer, but to inspire and drive their great achievements. I suspected that very same formula could be applied to actors in their approach to their work. I watched the great actors of our time, and I saw in their performances the same emotional drive to overcome adversity, and in fact to use those very obstacles to necessitate achievement of a goal and win. In their performances, great actors were instinctively mirroring the behavior and nature of great people. I needed to create a system that would reflect and guide this process, a system to replicate real, dynamic human behavior, a system that once the actor committed to making fearless choices would guide and empower the actor to use their own pain to win their character's goal. A system that would also provide a way to craft risky choices that would allow an actor to break the rules and make new rules, inspiring, exceptional work and characters. A system that would create an emotionally heroic character rather than a victim. I realized that an actor must identify their character's primal need, goal, or objective. With this objective in mind, the actor must then find the appropriate personal pain that can effectively drive this objective. After working with this idea for a while, I understood that the pain must be powerful enough to inspire an actor to fearlessly commit to doing whatever it takes to win their objective. If the emotions were not strong enough, then there wasn't enough there to motivate the actor to sustain their fight to win. But when the appropriate personal pain is paired with an objective, it connects the actor to their character's predicament, making winning the objective real and necessary for them as a person, not just as an actor playing a part. With this new approach, my cutting-edge technique was born. I began working to refine this theory of overcoming personal pain to empower a performance into a technique. I had to figure out how to help actors find a way to psychologically personalize and feel their character's drive to win as their own. Once I began applying these concepts, I found the process so personally enriching that it literally took over my life. I began teaching 7 days a week, many hours a day, because I primarily taught and coached working actors. Word spread through the professional acting community quickly. I opened an acting studio. Shortly thereafter, the studio had a rather lengthy waiting list. I never advertised and refused to do any promotion or have my school listed in any of the trade publications for actors. I didn't have a website. In fact, for a number of years, my studio's telephone number was unlisted. I wasn't being snobby or arrogant. I just figured that if an actor really wanted to find me, they would. Some people went to great lengths to get into my class, sometimes taking months just to get to the...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?